Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2013 edition of the Race Across America, powered by Train. I'm Dave Toll, and as we check in Durango, Colorado, the Race Across the West is already wrapping up or close to wrapping up for some of our four-rider teams. It's actually a win being posted for Team JSF. They completed the course. It's 857 miles, remember, in the Race Across the West in one day, 23 hours and 23 minutes, finishing just in front of the Atletas com Causa, the Athletes with a Cause squad out of Brazil. So we are in the Four Corners area, Monument Valley to be exact, as these 1,000-foot tall spires are the scenery that the riders are looking at as they make their way through what really is the conditions that they dream about when you're going to be racing in a transcontinental event. 3,000 miles all the way from Oceanside to Annapolis, Maryland, and things could not be going better right now for our race leader. Christoph Strasser has opened up a massive advantage, and clearly his tactic here is to get into the mountains and up and over as quickly as he can, because he knows that Rito Schock, the Swiss rider, is coming. And we had a chance to check in with Michael Bookman, who is on the team supporting Rito Schock on the Race Across America.
What Rito said nothing special about this. He only said we have to go through because the race is just hard and is focus on him. What he does here is just racing and crossing America. And if you talk about Rito, it was quite hard for him because it was not so much sleeping last 24, 48 hours. That must be so hard. I nearly can't believe what I see. I learned him knowing as a very, very strong person, very strong in mind and very strong in body.
This sector is one of the most challenging in this year's Race Across America. Where they are now, they're not only at altitude, but they're facing some very serious elevation gain. And this is the point in the race where Rito Schock is going to be looking to make up ground. You certainly, at this point, as we're making our way into the middle of the Race Across America, you have to look at what Christoph Strasser is doing. It's a very impressive job of holding Rito Schock off. Now, when we had a chance to check in with Strasser a little bit earlier today, actually it was just after sunrise this morning, he said he was feeling much, much better at this point in the race than he did last year. And that would coincide with weather conditions being much nicer. We're looking at 15 degrees on average lower temperatures this year than what they saw last year. So really ideal if we're going to be looking at a record set this year. And it's starting to look like these two right now, the class of the field, that being Rito Schock and Christoph Strasser. Strasser has already gone through 857 miles of racing, and we're just a little over 2 days in. Well, we are getting reports from out on course now that Christoph Strasser, after 2 very hard days of racing, is going to be taking some sleep now. The report is 90 minutes, and we will see, but that is the information we're getting from out on course right now. Well, these gentlemen, and we're talking about our 2 leaders, Rito Schock and Christoph Strasser, have both won this race in the past. They also have set some time marks for themselves, and we're understanding that they both are either on or slightly ahead of their schedule that they had the year that they won. So both of these riders, clearly they have their own tactics here. They're riding their own race, and if you're going to win RAAM, that's how you need to do it. They're pushing each other, and we're certainly impressed. This is a great opportunity to take a look at our leaderboard right now and our top 10 men. Actually, we've got an American who's getting very, very close to riding his way up into the top 10. That's Chris Ragsdale. Mike Wilson, the other top American here, is also starting to make his way forward on our leaderboard. But right now, up at the very top, it is Christoph Strasser. You can see Strasser being chased by Rito Schock. Danny Weiss, and if you've been following along on our live tracker, there must have been some type of an issue with his GPS there, but we are confirming that Danny Weiss is in 3rd out on course right now. Marco Ballo, the Slovenian rider, in 4th, and then the Canadian, the top North American in our field right now, Jason Lane, is sitting in 5th. That's the order of our top 10 as it stands right now. Back in Oceanside, California, we had a press conference earlier this morning where we had a chance to meet some of the teams that are gathering as they get ready to try to set a record. In our 8-man team event, it's Allied Forces that are looking to go inside of that 5-day, 5-hour, 5-minute world record. In our 4 women's category, Team Blood, Sweat, and Gears are looking to set a record along with the 2 women's team Power Pedal Ponytails, and then this really inspirational squad. I'm recommending people keep an eye on the 8-man Walter Reed team. These are all injured vets, and they're not only looking to break a record, but certainly inspire people along the way.
We decided that we knew we wanted to pair ourselves with a charity, and we wanted to make sure that this was about more than just the 2 of us and racing across the country. And we're partnered up with Camp Twin Lakes, which is an incredible organization that's based out of Atlanta that puts camps on for kids with various illnesses and disabilities. I was actually a volunteer for Camp Sunshine, one of their about 40 different camps that they do, when I was 17 for kids whose parents have died of cancer. And it's Casey's a teacher. Kids mean a lot to her. I like kids, and it's a great organization. So we're really proud to be partnered with them. And if you're on the course at all, you certainly will not miss our crew participating in the Ministry of Fun. They've got boas, they've got tutus, they've got glitter, pink and purple, everything. We're here to really put some fun into RAAM.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our crew chief, we're an interesting mix of educators and military. So we are structured, and yet there's a lot of glitter.
This is such a critical sector of the race across America. We're not only seeing the highest altitude that the riders are going to be going up against, it's actually one of the loveliest mountain ranges in the state of Colorado. The Sangre de Cristo Mountains and the San Juan Mountains are really what they're racing between right now. With the conditions at the best we have ever seen in any edition of the Race Across America, you really do have to wonder what the strategy is going to be for our leaders. Do they want to stay on the bike and keep pushing as long as they can and, as they say, make hay while it's in the field? It certainly looks like that's the case. If these guys are going to set a world record, which is starting to look more and more possible, as a matter of fact, I'm even going to go ahead and say it looks likely that they will now, especially if they can continue to have good luck with the conditions. So they've really basically climbed 2 miles high at this point. 10,000 feet is what they're up and over here as they are in that rarefied air. And it certainly is interesting to watch the strategy of Christoph Strasser as he continues to hold off Rito Schock. As they make their way through the Rocky Mountains, it looks like tomorrow we will have our leaders in Kansas. So for all of us here at the RAAM Report, I'm Dave Toll saying thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 8.